Yes. Hello to good people and to the bad people, friends and enemies. And thank you for being here again as we congregate. And good evening to all of you out there. Good boom shakalaka to one and all. Chris Base with you. If we bring you the baseline special about raising money for Corey, who is, of course, Lee Michaels' son. We did this last month and decided to make it a monthly tradition here as we continue to help Lee and his family to help raise money for Corey's accidents. For those of you who know by now, Corey's Lee's son got into a horrible car accident back in April of this year and has gone through multiple, and I do mean multiple surgeries, and continue to have the good faith. When you're looking at dollars to support what's going on, again, with them, with Lee's family going back and forth from LA to Denver to have money for, of course, medical care and other things as well. So if we continue to do that, we could do this. That is the GoFundMe page you can go to. You can see right there on the ticker as well for you to donate what you can. And again, it is, and I had to make this very, very clear. Anything you can donate, it's we're going to take it. It's just that simple. Nobody going to turn their collar down or things like that. We're going to take what we can get. So, of course, this is the Journey to Recovery, the charity cast, as I call it. And for those who want to donate, please see that as well down there at the bottom of the screen. GoFundMe.com. Search Lee Michaels' name, or you can see right there, I put up there on the screen as well. You can also Zelle, iRadioCoach@gmail.com. Again, that's iRadioCoach@gmail.com. And so make sure you do that. Make sure you get a chance to, again, let everybody know that this is needed. So as we continue the fundraiser online in real time, let's see. So the goal is $135,000. Currently, we're at 6,241. So, of course, we have a long way to go, but we can do it if you are able to be with us during this time. So, again, you have anything to contribute, please do so. You want to call in and give your best to Lee and his family. The phone number is there at 312-597-2106. Again, 312-597-2106. Lee will join us in Scam Mementos to give us an update on what's going on with Corey and the family as we continue to lift them up and let them know that they are loved, and we're going to support them through this time of need. And so that's where you come in. Now, that's where you out there who definitely want to show how much you love, how much you can give, and keep on giving. And understand, I know we're living in rough times. It's the nation. I think the nation is more divided than ever before to a degree. There's chaos and confusion going on with certain people, but I think at the same time, if we could put that to the side and realize we're looking at something that's very, very deep, to say the very least. So that's when we all get together during this time. So for those of us out there who can do that, make sure you do. Make sure you can contribute. Make sure you can be a part of just doing what's right. Once again, no pressure. Well, pressure to a degree. I mean, that's why I'm here, to a degree, to put the full court press on you. But here's the thing. I've known Lee for a while now, known of him before I ever met the man. And working in radio is just one of those names that come through people's mouths and come through the industry. And I keep saying it, and I keep on saying it. Never heard a bad thing about this man. Never. And the people he has helped tremendously over the years. Some people don't think about cashing in, but it's time to cash in. The number of people he has helped over time has been tremendous. You can't even count on your fingers. Lee has helped, whether it's professionally or personally, and I am one of them in both. And It's one of those things where you have to pay it forward and you have to be a part of something because the call has been heated. If you heed the call, then you know what to do. If your friend, father, brother, guru is in need, I'm already there. So, what about you? And you have to know Lee personally just to understand the story, mind you, because it can happen to you or me. And once again, the change is you. The change is you out there. You're the one that can make the change happen. See, says here, hello, King Base. Good Friday. Good afternoon. Nice shirt. You got it today. I still pray for Mr. Michael's family and happy Father's Day to you. Thank you. Thank you, Omar. And I hope you got a chance to contribute as well as a nice pleasantry. Says once again, if you can, that's cool. If you cannot, it's cool as well. Um, dire Straits is where we are now. And I just know from my own personal backs and forths, it kind of reminds me of the old Cameo song, Our Love Goes, back and forth. The one thing I've always said about if you can find a way to help people, then you do so because somebody has helped you. I can't make it more plain than that. Somebody has helped you. You didn't do all this by yourself now. You may think, or your ego is the size of Mount Rushmore, but you didn't do it all by yourself. You didn't. Somebody helped you along the way. And I think it's wonderful when people pay it forward to realize that the magnitude of helping someone, traditionally, you help yourself by doing that. Get some tea here, a skull to you out there. Ah, tea is good. And again, what we're doing here is what I call the love fest. We love this man. And to me, when you're trying to help someone, the thing about it is you do it in any way you can. In any way you can, or as some people say, depending on the accent, in any way you can. That's what you do. You help, you assist, you do the best you can, even no more than a phone call to that person. They'll be glad to hear your voice. They'll be glad to definitely make sure that you are there. So that's what it's all about. I think that when people take time out to do something, it's going to help out in any way, shape, or form. It definitely does. Hold on real quick. I gotta do this real quick. I can't type and talk at the same time. I'm behind here, so hold on. Yeah, can't chew gum and everything else. Even then, I have a problem chewing gum. So there you go. Hold on, let me do this real quick. Okay. Okay. Bring that. Okay. Let me do this real quick. Okay. So let's see. How you doing, Barbara Jean? Says I'm watching on Facebook since YouTube doesn't really work. Yeah, well, YouTube be YouTubing. Oh hell, yeah, man. But thank you for being here as always and your support as we continue on. The main thing about this when we heard the unfortunate news is when you think about what if it was you? I know I did. What if it was a family member of mine? And for me, it kind of fell in that direction because I consider Lee family. I know Barbara Jean calls him Uncle Lee for example. Well, he's always been the guru to me. And I remember when when someone calls you brother or sister or give you that type of title, that's nothing to that's nothing to mess around with. You should really take that very seriously. That's a very serious mantle. Because I think when you get that type of title, then it means something to that person who's giving it to you, and vice versa. And of course, everybody's different, obviously, the way they comport themselves and things of that nature. But still, I mean, I don't call everybody a brother or sister. I just don't. But that's me. But when you look at somebody's life like Lee's, who I got a chance to listen, to study, to comprehend, to share what he wants to share with me, just basic conversation or anything to do with the industry, I'm all ears and I'm all mind. And that's how I see Lee. The man stone cold genius. I say it before because a lot of people say, well, a lot of people geniuses nowadays. No. A lot of people use the word genius, but don't really mean it. They can't rub two stones together, let alone call themselves a genius. That's all for PR purposes and likes and hearts and stuff like that, and trying to build an audience. But the people who are true geniuses don't call themselves genius, which is where Lee Michaels comes in. He is. As far as I'm concerned, other people I talked to over the years agree wholeheartedly. Stone cold. Now, people who call themselves geniuses, okay, that'll be a little bit too much because most geniuses don't know that they are. They just function the way that they do, and someone else calls them a genius. But when it comes to Lee, he's that and more. And so as we continue to raise money in real time and 24 hours after we leave here, or again, like I said before, this become a monthly segment here on this program to let everybody know that this man is beloved. Again, the goal is $135,000. We're currently at 6,241 at this stage in the game. So we need more, say at the very least. We need more. So again, take the time out to go to GoFundMe.com and search for Lee Michaels' name and donate through there. You also Zelle Lee. When you Zelle him, make sure you Zelle him at iradiocoach@gmail.com. Again, iradiocoach@gmail.com. And I've noticed over time, people donating on the page, and it's continuous grace for all of you to take the time out to do so, to make it do what it do, to make it work, and to get past that goal that where we have right now to push the needle further, which is where we are. Continue to pushing the needle, and we can all do it together. There is no doubt in my mind that we can get this goal and hopefully then some. But we need everyone's help, everybody's help. So always wanting you to be a part of the program. Again, make sure you do that. Make sure you donate. If you're here on the live, you'll sit there and suck up free energy. You call in and give some kind words. I'm sure Lee will participate in hearing that, obviously. Phone number 312-597-2106. Again, 312-597-2106. Please do so. Every little bit helps. As you know, words are very, very powerful, extremely powerful. And when people say these words and are legit and not trying to give you the business, what I'm talking about, you got your BS meter going with certain people, and they love you and they want to show their love, when it's legit. And it's the time to do that. Let him know. It goes a long way. Words can be very, very comforting. They can help. They can heal. And so, with all that coming on, it's going to be wonderful to hear these words or to see these words on the screen or during the comment section here, like Lisa London. Hello, Lisa. So, good evening to the Base Nation. Thank you for being here as well. Again, every little bit helps, every little bit counts. It goes a long way. And all of us have been through obviously some trial or tribulation. What what got you through it? I want that to marinate for a couple of seconds. What got you through? Name the most horrific thing you've gone through in your life to date, and what got you through it? When Zamira Jones was on here for the first one we did, first charity cast last month, he told Lee, it was Lee, of course, and Zamira Jones and Bonnie DeShong. And Zamira was saying that through all of this, that Lee would have a testimony. That stuck in my skull for a long time after he said that. And he's spot on about that, about what kind of testimony that Lee will have after all this is done. It's the power of somebody's voice and their words, and that it does mean something. And when you use that power, you can help others, which is why, of course, when, and I talked to Lee just today, as a matter of fact, when you get phone calls or people reaching out to you text wise, but we're talking about voice wise in this particular situation, it helps. All communications help, but it's something about, again, hearing somebody's voice, I think. They're not dismissing the emails or text, mind you, but the sincerity and love of somebody's voice. It's dynamic. It's powerful. It's what it should be when it comes to communication between us as people. No matter who you are, no matter what language you speak. Something about the human voice that we all, we all take for granted. But in this situation, we're not going to take it for granted. We're going to take it for every word and syllable that is said, because Lee needs help and finances, obviously, and healing. And it goes a long way. It's powerful. I wouldn't sell this if it didn't happen in my life or other people's lives I talked to over time. But it has to come from the right person. Like I said before, you know who people are over time. You know, the jackleg people, lie to you and all the time, and they say something to you, and it doesn't even, it can't even, he can't even buy a bar of soap, because they jackleg and they lie so damn much. But the ones who love, the ones who are genuine, those are the ones you gravitate towards. Those are the ones that mean the most. Let's bring in the great Lee Michaels. Hey, Lee, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How you doing, Chris? Thank you.
No, absolutely. Just of course, setting the table for you. So, tell us the latest about what's going on with Corey.
Corey's doing better. Um, we've got some great news earlier today that he may be able to leave the hospital within the next 7 days or so.
Nice.
But the journey isn't over.
Right.
The hospital did what they claim to be their last skin graft or surgery yesterday. The surgery went well, and he's excited about the possibility of getting out of the hospital soon. But the journey is not over once he walks out of the hospital, because there's still going to be a significant physical and rehabbing to get your full motion back. So he's already started that portion of it, but it's going to take a while for that to get back to 100%. So we're
You guys,
hopeful and praying for that.
oh, absolutely. You sent out a viral video of him working out recently,
Hmm.
and you
Hmm.
sent him sitting down, and he's doing the rowing exercises. What was that like to be in the room and seeing him being forward momentum like that?
I was quite happy, to say the least, and surprised that he was able to do that. I mean, he can't do it for long, an hour or anything like that yet,
Right.
but he's working on getting the full motion of his arms and legs back together, and that's what they're working on right now.
Now, has he been able to talk? I know a couple of times he would have the tube in his neck and things like that. Has he been able to communicate?
Yeah, he's able to communicate. He still has a trach in his neck area and
Mm.
still has a feeding tube. Those things we're hoping will be coming out in the next few days. And he can't leave the hospital until those things are removed.
Tell people what it's like when you're in this unfortunate situation
Hmm.
and you're traveling from LA back to Denver and back and forth. And of course, how first of all, how's Debbie doing?
Debbie's doing pretty good. I mean, it's been stressful for all of us, but I think she's bared the most weight and
Mm,
stress because she's been here since the day after he was injured,
mm.
and those 24 hours a day, never leaving the hospital by his side is it's taxing, to say the least. Stressful and emotional to see your child, your baby child, laying there with significant, burns and the first almost 30 days he was in a induced coma,
Mm.
so you couldn't communicate with him.
Right.
Though they say, people in those type of comas can hear you, but there's no response, so you don't know how they're really feeling and what have you. So I think it was about the first 7 or 8 surgeries. Skin grafts were done when he was totally unconscious, wasn't aware of what was going on.
Mm. Yeah. The
But let me just say this:
sure.
I take my hat off to Debbie, my wife, for being strong and sticking in there. I couldn't come right away because I have a small limousine business in California,
Mm.
and I tried to keep that alive as long as I could. And so it's been a financial drain and emotional drain on all of us. But Debbie has really, pulled up to the bumper and made it happen.
I know in some of the earlier videos you mentioned about Corey's daughters. How are they holding up?
The girls are doing pretty good. They're missing their dad. He talks to them frequently,
Good.
and we talked to him last night. I was there at the hospital when he spoke with him, and so they're being supportive as well. Especially the oldest one, which is 16. She misses her dad, and she's encouraging him to get well soon so they can get back together and all of that. So it's tough on everybody.
We always hear the adage about parents and children, if their children, no matter how old they are
Hmm.
say incapacitated or laying in a hospital bed, and
Hmm.
you hear the adage, "I will trade places with them immediately."
Totally.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, all those thoughts went through my mind, and when it happened, I said, why Corey? I mean, he graduated a year or so ago from university with a degree in aviation management. That's where he wants to live and earn his life in, and loves the aviation industry. He's had some pretty good jobs in the business, and he was in between jobs. Just left a job as a station manager in Norfolk, Virginia,
Hmm.
at the Norfolk Airport, and he had interviewed with several other companies, and he was hopeful that he would get these other positions, which would have been a promotion for him. And the accident happened. So you never know what's going to happen or what's around the corner next in your life, and you just have to be prepared to weather those storms when they come.
Yeah, before the accident happened, of course, I would see Corey on Facebook with
Hmm.
this, the stripes from airlines and things like. What got him into aviation? Why did he get into that?
That's a good question. Early on, when he was probably in his late teens or early 20s, he
Hmm.
had the idea of being a pilot. And I think that's kind of what sparked the whole desire to be in the airline industry. He didn't pursue that all the way. He did look into it, but he
Hmm.
didn't follow that path. So he got into aviation. I think his first job was with Southwest Airlines in Baltimore, and then he moved down to Florida and he's worked for what I call the flying banana, Spirit, and American Airlines and United.
Very cool.
So
I'm always interested when people gravitate towards a certain profession and why, and um, when they're a part of it, they seem like they were born to do it.
hmm well, it's just like you and I. I knew when I was 13, 14 years old what I wanted to do, and I was lucky enough to get that break and be in the broadcast business. And I've met numerous people who started. Oh, I had that fire and desire to be in the broadcast business, and they pursued it, and they became quite successful. So I always said to my kids, whatever you have a passion for, follow that passion, and you'll never have a job in your life because it's not a job. It's something
Right.
that you wake up early or stay up late and follow that path and do it to 100%. If you do that, then I've found you will be successful at whatever that dream is.
No, you're right, because it never feels like a job at all. Never
Hmm.
does.
Hmm.
It's something that's innately within you that you
Yeah.
just do. That literally, when they use the adage about it's born to do it,
Hmm.
you're born to do it, and you find your way, and it makes sense because something you gravitated towards in this profession, say whether it's now aviation or in radio, you just
Hmm.
know. You can't put
That
your finger. You just know you're supposed to be there.
and even when you get into the career that you want to be in, and you have the love and passion for it, and there are going to be some bumps in the road. There's going to be some letdowns and some tough periods, but you weather through it, and it's a little different than hell, I got to go to this job and I hate the people I work with and
Mhm.
they don't pay me a lot and this is the only thing I can do. When you're in that mode, then it's a job,
Yeah.
you know. And I know people who've had their jobs for 20, 30 years and 40 years and they sometimes they die doing it but they were never happy doing it.
Right.
So that's a big difference.
Well,
Come here,
let me
Jimmy.
say this. I want to share with the people real quick. When I was talking to Lee earlier, Lee was asking me about, well, you're going to have anybody on the show? I said, no, that's G classified 45. I can't expose to. We're not going to have everybody on. We're not going to have anybody on here at all. Okay,
Oh.
I lied. I lied.
I know
Uh,
you.
yeah, well, right. Let me bring forward one of the people that's going to come on here real quick. He is the host of the Ask Dr. Ron show. Please put your hands together for Dr. Ron Ford.
Well, good evening. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can
All
hear you.
right. Well, I ain't been
We
on
can
there in
see
so
you.
long. I don't know if my equipment is working right. So,
No,
top of
you.
the evening to you.
Hey, Doc, how you doing?
Man, I'm still alive. And when I say
Good
it
to go.
literally, I mean it.
Yeah, because you've
Yeah,
been going through some tough times too, with some medical
absolutely.
issues.
Absolutely. Well,
Well,
I just want to say, I've been praying regularly for you and your family,
thank
and
you.
even go as far as to try and keep up with you, physically get on your nerves at least once a week, twice a week, three times a week, you
Every
know,
day.
every day. Okay. But it's called Love Is.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes when you're going through things in life, you need to know that you're not going through it by yourself,
Hmm.
and you have been a blessing tremendously. I was kind of listening to Chris's monologue early part of the show when he had me in the broom closet. and and he was so spot on of all the people around the world that you have been a blessing to and for, even to give up your finances, your time. You've been teaching people, you know. I felt so bad last year. You and I were talking. I had sent a client your way, and that rascal never paid a dime. I was so upset when I heard that. You know, so can you
Man,
imagine all the people that you have helped in your lifetime? Because you've been doing this about what, 80 years now? You
damn
know,
near.
yeah. You know,
Well, 65 to 2015. What is that? About 50 years.
yeah.
So and I retired, but not really because
You ain't
you
retired,
know,
y'all.
well, I'm not going doing that 9 to 5 or working for some company or corporation. But I still work for my friends and people that I run into that I don't know that show me that spark in their eye and that love and burning feeling in their gut that they want to do it. Then I'll wrap my arms around them, and what little bit I know, I'm free in sharing it with anybody who wants to listen. And because people did that for me when I came up in business, a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I made a promise to all of them that I would, in this relay race of life, as I see it, we are running on the track of life. And at some point in time, you've got to reach back and pass that baton to somebody else. And I've been running that race and I keep passing the baton, and I'll get off the track and look and watch their growth. And I mean, I could probably lay in bed at night and count the number of people that I have passed that baton to who have superseded even what I've done in the business. And I'm so proud of them. And that's the biggest reward, more than the 50 or 60 gold and platinum records that I have, all the other awards and trophies and stuff that I've achieved in the business. None of that means as much as seeing the success of others and that they made a pledge to me that they'll pass that baton. And that's what keeps the industry alive. And whatever, I mean, you could be a garbage truck driver. If that's what you want to do and your heart is into it and you teach somebody else how to do it, that's great. That's
Absolutely.
great. You're making a contribution that is priceless to someone else.
Yeah. Uh, uh, can I make a sales pitch right now, Chris?
You're doing it.
What are you
Yeah.
peddling now?
No, not me. All those people that you have helped over those 80 years of you being in business, I just want them to take a moment and say thank you by making donations towards this cause.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, because it's priceless. They can't pay you what you have imparted into them, but they can show some love right now and just make a contribution, you know, to help you in what you're going through. You know, this whole show is dedicated to helping, you know, you and your family. And I just, in the theme of what's going on, there's a whole marketplace out there, people that you have been a tremendous blessing to, you know, and you're not gonna ask anybody for a dime, you know, but I can on your behalf. You know, I just want to reach out, touch their heart. You know, this is the guy that was there for you. Now it's your turn to be there for him.
Thank you,
Well
Dr.
said.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Thank you. And,
And,
and listen,
mhm.
anything, a prayer, a phone call, a text message, and if you have the ability to make a donation, that would be wonderful. We're preparing to get my son out of the hospital here in Colorado, take him to Los Angeles, and give the rest of the care that he's going to need there. I think he'll get better medical care in Los Angeles. I mean, unfortunately, the reality is your bigger cities tend to attract better talent. And I know that from being in the radio business, and I think most people can attest to that reality. If you get into the top 10 markets in radio, if you get into the top 10 markets in the medicine business, you're going to have not the guy that graduated as a doctor in his class and it was 150 doctors in that class. He might be 149. Well, he's not going to get a job in Los Angeles. I mean, I'm not trying to put anybody down,
Right.
but the chances are the people at the top of the class who were they were smashing those books, killing it, being creative, innovative, and on point. Those are the ones that are going to get the best jobs out there. And those are the ones that typically going to be the best at what they do. So with that thought in mind, that's what we're trying to achieve, because as any parent would want the best for your children. And Corey is my baby boy. I have an older son and a middle child daughter. And I would do the same for all of them. And I know you, if you're a conscious parent, you would do the same. We all want the best for our children. And Corey's 35 years old. He's a good kid, never been in trouble, hard worker, loved what he was doing, got a degree in aviation management, and he had signed up to get his master's degree. So, I mean, that's more than I've achieved in my life already. Master what? Master how to talk shit on the radio. That's what I mastered.
Well, you got that. You got that already, right?
Yeah, you know.
Well,
So
we got
music master, music rotation system. That's what I mastered. Selector,
we-
and all
we-
the
we-
other software packages.
we got to send you to that university that Marshall went to so you can be a doctor. You know.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm okay as a radio coach. That I'm good. With that.
Okay. All
I
right.
coach people.
Yeah.
And so,
But yeah,
so Dr. Ron, when did you meet Lee?
I met Lee through you, strange enough.
That's
You
right.
know, yeah, you were putting in those long hours over at Finney's place. And this is before Lee snapped, crackled, and popped and tore up the lunchroom and quit.
Well, it was time to go.
No, but it's crazy.
You don't have to stay in there until the ship goes down.
But it was crazy. Lee and I had been in the same room for the last 40 or 50 years at the same time and just had never paid each other no attention. And when you made me know who he was, and we sat down and we got to talking, and it's like, yeah, I was there. Yeah, I know that fool. Yeah, me too. Yeah, that was the time. That was the time. This, and that. And then we was in the same room at the same time, doing the same thing, basically. But we never paid each other no attention.
No, our wires just never crossed.
Yeah, it just never clicked.
Right.
And then one for the short period of time that he was over there with Finney, because he didn't stay long. They had to redo the cafeteria after he got through snapping, crackling, and popping over there. And then I just, because Finney was hard to deal with, period. And Lee left. He wasn't staying there no more. He was out of there. But we got the chance to know.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Hold that thought, because we're bringing in more people now. Just to give everybody an update. Once upon a time in the land of Nod, there was a show called Six Guys and You. So you're seeing 3 of the 6 guys here. Let me bring the other brother that was a part of that ensemble. Put your hands together for Sammy Mack, also known as a Buck Wild.
What's up, Bucky?
Hey. I haven't seen you fellows in a long time.
What's up,
brother? How you
doing?
I'm doing great. I
You
am
look like
doing great.
LeBron James around the face.
You like the beard? You like
Not
the beard?
really.
It's not for you, nigga.
I know it. That's for
it's,
sure.
it's for the girls.
Okay.
No, actually, you know what? I had a female friend said, "Yeah, I hate goatees. Goatees are played out." So I was like, "Played out." I mean, I don't think about what's played out. You know, what's in style and not, because I'm too old to be worried about what's in style. And but I say, you know what? I started paying attention. And sure enough, hardly anybody was rocking a goatee anymore. So I said, let me go ahead and let the full beard grow. I'm like,
Cool.
all right.
I can't,
Oh, look at your dog. Oh,
I can't
hey,
get
buddy.
past the itching of growing a beard.
It goes away after a while.
I can't get that far. I can't do it. In fact, I shaved before coming on today. I need a damn haircut.
Mm.
So
Oh, man.
those donations will help me get a haircut too.
Look
Donation
at
for
your
a
little,
haircut, right?
look at your little buddy right there. Hey, buddy.
Yes.
Hey there.
My jingles.
Oh, I
Jingles
miss my
getting
dog.
older and older.
You know, my dog died.
No,
I didn't know that. Oh, man, I'm sorry.
no.
Yeah, my dog died.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I think, she was 15. I think she had a stroke.
Oh,
Mm.
man.
Friday night, she was fine. Saturday morning, she woke up. She couldn't stand. She was blind. It was painful to
Yeah.
watch. So
I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah, I'm
I'll tell you
sorry
what-
you lost your friend.
I want to get to Buck real quick, but before I get to Buck, I want to go back to what Dr. Ron was saying about how he met Lee through myself, and what the people, when Ron mentioned about Finney, he referring to the late Dr. Leon Finney Jr. Of course, did all the Leons, Red Place and stuff like that. And Dr. Finney created a place called Urban Broadcast Media, which we had 3 different internet streams: UBM Talk, UBM Music, and UBM Praise. And Lee was put in charge of that, which is how I got my job there, doing my baseline talks on UBM Talk. Now, what Dr. Ron's referring to about the cuss out part was we're back in the what's in the kitchen area of UBM, and all of a sudden I heard, "Ah, you motherfucker!" And I was like, "Oh, somebody snapped off like a dry twig in hell,"
That was
and it
not
was
me.
Lee.
That
And
was
again,
that other guy.
I never. Is that right? It's Uber Lee. This is pre-Uber Lee. Uber Lee came out and started to cuss out Doc, and Doc was going back and forth cussing out him. If there was ever a cuss out contest, Lee and Uber Lee, both of them won it.
Well, see, I was born and raised in Virginia, in Norfolk, so I cussed like a sailor.
Man,
you, Lee? No.
yeah, I'm telling you, even if Lee was not cussing you out, you still feel small.
Oh, stop it.
It was a rough customer. So
Look, that was a legendary event. It lasted the entire length of that station.
It was 30 seconds at the most.
No, I'm talking about the cuss out part, how long they talked about it.
Oh, okay.
All the way up until the feds came in and took everything out, So.
I wasn't around when that happened.
No, you were not.
You wasn't. No.
You were not.
I saw him coming though.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
But that cuss out was legendary in real time, and after Lee left the
it was
premises.
legendary. It was legendary.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
I remember one time somebody said, "Hey, weren't you here when Lee cussed out Doc?" Yes. Yep. So
I can't even picture it.
Man, it's worth the trip in.
They're making
it's worth the trip in. So, Buck, I want to pivot back to you as we give our support to Lee. How did you know about Lee Michaels, and your words of encouragement for what he's going through right now?
Okay, so now first and foremost, I've never had kids, so it's hard for me to even get myself in that mind frame. One of my clients has a son who was he had a liver transplant, and then after a while, the liver transplant, I guess his body rejected it or whatever, and recently he died. And it was hard for me to and I was about to do a video for him about a couple of years ago when he was waiting on the waiting list for this transplant, and so I got to know the mom and that sort of thing. But it was just hard for me to even fathom what it would be like to have a son that's sick and that sort of thing. But with Lee, let me tell you, I had heard about Lee from KDIA when I was at KDIA, and I I don't know, you probably don't remember this, Lee, but I went to some event that we had at a bar in the Hyatt Regency downtown Oakland, and Keith Adams was there. Now Keith used to be the program director at KDIA, and he was standing there with this guy. Now Keith Adams is a giant. I mean, he's like really tall, and so this guy standing next to him who looked relatively short next to Keith Adams, but he was about my height, maybe even a little bit taller, but he just seemed shorter.
Most people are taller than you.
I'm 5'11", but
Well, I'm about the same,
right.
6 feet.
But we just I came up to Keith because I knew Keith, and Keith was a record rep in the Bay Area, and it's really cool. And we were just talking blah blah blah, and he says, by the way, Sammy Mack, Lee Michaels.
You didn't go stupid look, did you?
I started acting like a little groupie, okay? Like I had just met my some singer that that I was in love with,
So you heard me when I was on the air there?
No, because I wasn't old enough.
Okay, because I was there in 75 and 76.
Yeah, I was in like second grade. But I remembered hearing all the stories about you in Chicago, just in my, very early stages of my radio career. But I was just like, this was like one of the greatest men in radio, period. And I was like, I was seriously like a little schoolgirl. I was like, oh, this Lee Michaels. Are you serious? Lee Michaels? And Keith was like, yeah, so. I was like, like it wasn't any big deal, so I was kind of in awe, and it's hard not to be in awe of you, Lee, just because you are one of the greatest. You've been at the top of the mountain.
Well, I got lucky, and I worked hard. Whatever I've achieved in this business, it's not because I got anything handed to me. I had to work for it.
Mm-hmm.
And Keith Adams can tell you. I mean, Keith used to ride me like I was a Shetland pony.
Really?
Oh my God, I was tough. I mean, as an on-air personality, I pushed the envelope most of the time.
Really, like I did.
Yeah, absolutely. I worked for Keith 3 different times: St. Louis, Oakland, Charlotte, North Carolina. He gave me my first PD/operation manager's job in Charlotte at WGIV.
Wow.
And we're still friends today. I mean, I text him happy birthday today.
I was about to say his birthday was what, yesterday?
Was it yesterday or today? I think I sent him a happy birthday today. I don't know. You know what? I've been spending 12, 14, 16 hours a day at the hospital with my son. So I thought and this will freak you out, Chris. I ran out to my car yesterday at 5 minutes to 6 Mountain Time to be on the show that's actually today.
Oh, jeez.
That's how retarded and twisted in the mind I am right now.
It was way off.
I was a day early, but I didn't want to be late.
Well, if we'd have showed up, it wouldn't be CPT, Doc. You would have been way early. It would have been colored people's time, boy.
I was sitting in the green room waiting.
See?
And then something clicked and I said, wait a minute, today is Thursday.
Right.
And I think I had a conversation with Ron yesterday debating about whether today was Thursday or Friday.
Right, we sure did. Yep.
Yeah. That's what I've been going through. But
that's a lot.
Yeah, you know what? It gives me goosebumps to hear testimonials or stories about myself and I'm not a great self promoter. I can do it for you. I can make you a superstar, but I'm reluctant about putting myself out there first because I never had that much ego. And I used to say people who have big egos, I admire them, but I can't do it.
Yeah.
I lost all my ego with my first wife. So
Damn. But you know, I had the same conversation about self promotion. We have
yeah.
a mixer at the radio station I work at here in Atlanta at KISS, and as a matter of fact, he's from Chicago, and he I said, he's driving for Uber, right, to make ends meet, and then mixing for the radio station on the weekends and I guess during the week too. But I was like, nigga, why are you driving for Uber? You are a mixer. You should be in the club 5 nights a week. He's not in any clubs. How many mixers do you know at any radio station that's not in any clubs? None. Zero.
That's rare. Yep.
It's odd, right? So anyway, he said that the first thing he said, he's like, well, I'm not good at promoting myself. I'm like, you need to get good at it.
Well, you either do that or get a manager or
that's what that's
person.
the next thing I told him.
Yeah. Because
yeah.
I remember when I chose the Hot Mix 5 in Chicago back in, what was that, 80, 81? There was one guy that I really wanted on that team. In fact, the name was going to be the Hot Mix 6. And
which rhymes. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of rolled off the tongue. But his skills at that time were not perfect. The other 5 guys had it down to a science. And, I mean, you have to look at when you're picking and choosing to put somebody on the air, you got to make sure they're reliable. They're going to be bringing their tapes in. Back in those days, we were recording on 10-inch reels. So you can't wait until 5 minutes before the show to bring your reel in because it may not be enough time to cue it up and get everything going. And we want to make sure that we're promoting, hey, Mickey Mix and Oliver's coming up next on, the Saturday Night Live Ain't No Jive Chicago Dance Party. And then he doesn't show up with his tape. So I had a rule of having the tapes in like the day before to ensure that, everything was going to go the way it's supposed to.
Smart.
Well, this guy couldn't, for some reason, do it. And then when he got his tapes in, sometimes the beats were not on, in sync. So he hadn't perfected his craft at that point. But he was very popular in town at the Warehouse, which was one of the clubs that was doing the house music back in those days.
Right.
And so he didn't make the cut. So this is a story about Frankie Knuckles, who became
get out of here,
world-renowned mixer. He left Chicago. I think he went to New York, and he did a tour in Europe and what have you. But he got somebody to help promote him, and they obviously made him tighten up his skills and became like the godfather of house music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me interrupt real quick because again we got people coming through. So shout out to, of course, also part of the 6 Guys and You, Professor Reggie Miles. Up, Reggie? Says hey right there at the bottom of the screen. Get your ass here where you should be right now. So hopefully a chance to come on through. Also want to bring through a lady who Lee knows quite well from his days in Los Angeles. She is the former host of the internet show Honey's Closet. Formerly Val Young. Please welcome to the stage Val Noble.
Hello, everybody.
Hey
Dr. Ron,
Lee. What, you got a radio name now? Val Noble? What is that?
You got to give her congratulations.
Yeah, she's married now.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Not radio name.
Really?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes.
When did you get married?
When she quit radio.
I didn't quit radio. I'm actually coming back soon, but I am coming back. I had to take a break, not because I got married, because my nonprofit really started moving, and We just had our
Great.
second annual prom for seniors with autism this past Saturday the 8th. So
Wonderful.
I had to
Congratulations.
focus on that. But Lee, I got married August 17th.
Wow. Last year?
Yes.
Wow. Congratulations. I'm happy
Thank
for
you.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Because
you.
all those other flea bags that was hanging on you, I'm glad you got rid of them.
You know what? And it's so funny because I had gave up. I just told God, you know what, it's gonna be me and
No.
Derek. And my childhood, he was like a big brother at that time. I've been knowing him since I was 8.
Wow.
Found me and said, yeah, said, I've dreamed about you. I told God I was gonna marry you if I ever found you, and he kept his word.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
What a
Thank you.
story. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
happy, really happy for you.
Thank you. He
Great.
said the flea bags. You already.
Scumbags.
It was a
Yeah.
very horrible time those years, but I overcame it. So I'm good.
Good. I'm happy
And I
for
miss you, Lee. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm going through a little tough one right now.
I
And
hear.
and I know you understand what I'm talking about because
Yes, sir.
you know you've been going through it for years and years and years with your son, and he's a wonderful person. How's he doing?
He's doing good. He was in here bugging me. I said, you got to get out my room because he gets emails and he wants me to tell him which ones to delete. But he's doing good because he's created his own Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram.
My man, great,
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
But he's doing good.
he's got some talent sitting there. Absolutely,
Mhm.
no
Yeah,
doubt.
he's doing good. Yes.
No
Well,
So
I've
doubt.
been praying for you. So yes, sir.
Yeah. I was saying, Val,
Thank
real
you.
quick. I mean, interrupt, so forgive me. I'm trying to get this into some sort of sync here. As I go around everybody, I'm asking the question: when did you first meet Lee, and the words of encouragement that you have for him?
The words of encouragement that I have for him.
Right, but first, when did you meet Lee? When was that? When was that happening?
Oh my gosh, this had to be 2014, 15, somewhere
Yeah,
around there.
somewhere in there. Yeah, around in that area. Yeah.
Around that area. And I came in and he was the engineer, and I call him my mentor angel. He brought me in, and I just felt like I even had this conversation with you, Chris. Like I don't feel like I'm radio material. And he always told me, never give up. I got you. I remember he told me one day, I got you. I'm not gonna let you fail. And I thought, okay, so I would not do a show if Lee wasn't here. It was like, so, and my encouragement to Lee is you spent so much of your time helping everybody else and mentoring everybody else and being there for everybody else. I mean, you're one of my biggest heroes. I don't get a chance to give you I haven't had the chance to give you your flowers, but you are an inspiration to all that come in to your presence. And my biggest inspiration is knowing that when you got me, I was a wilted flower. And I think that I bloomed into something that I can give you a lot of credit for when it comes to educating myself with radio and just learning all the tricks and trades, and never give up. Hold on, because people genuinely love you. They care for you. And there's not a day that if I could be by your side to help you, I wouldn't. I owe you so much.
No, you don't.
Yes,
You were a bud ready to bloom, and I just poured some Miracle Grow on you, and you bloomed. And this lady is one of the handful of natural talents. She didn't know she had this natural talent. All I did was pull it out. And as a radio coach, that's what I've always done with people that I meet. And when I looked up one day, she was hitting the ball out the park every time. She was coming up with creative ideas. And all I helped her do was to make it happen. I was a tool. But she had the raw talent. And I'm so proud of what you've accomplished. And I know you have a passion for live streaming, broadcasting, whatever. I know you'll come back because it's in your blood.
Yes, I'm definitely. Well,
Absolutely.
thank you, Lee. Thank you. I still feel like if it wasn't for you and Chris, I mean, there's not a time I couldn't call Chris when Lee wasn't available, when Lee was out driving around. But Chris
Yeah,
was
trying to
there, and
survive.
I've called Chris on several occasions, and So I give you your flowers, both of you, because I never felt that it was there, but I know that I felt more confident every time I spoke to either one of you guys. And Lee, we sat in that studio and had some good old times. Even in my personal life, you were there. You helped
Yeah.
me through a lot. So I just owe you.
Let me
No,
let
you
me say
don't.
this before we bring on the next guest, what I call the Love Fest continues. I was watching Kobe Bryant in an interview one time, and he was talking about the younger players after him, and he was talking about the comparison between him and Michael Jordan, and he said, "What you get from me, I got from Michael Jordan."
Mm.
So to Val, what you get from me, I got from Lee Michaels. So I'll leave it like that. I don't like myself to Kobe. I can't score 81 points a game. I can't even lift the ball up these days. But just the fact that when you're in the presence of greatness, you know how to act when you're around them. Bringing of course, more people to Love Fest. I mentioned before about the 6 guys and you, as we had this reunion around our brother. Please welcome to the stage Professor Reggie Miles.
Reggie,
Oh,
Hey,
what's
is
up,
that
Stepper?
me?
That's you, Doc.
It's me.
You're live in your color.
Professor.
Hey, how's
Hey,
Stepper,
everybody?
Stepper
yes.
King.
First of all, heart going out to you, Lee. Blessings to you. But I miss you guys, man. Y'all,
We miss you too.
it's been rough.
Absolutely.
I miss all of you.
Absolutely.
Miss
And I
you
was getting
guys.
the theme together because, well, maybe this could be the beginning of down the road, or maybe trying to do a reunion of us. But we're going back to you real quick. I'm asking everybody on the panel here, Professor Reggie Miles, when did you first meet Lee Michaels? And of course, words of encouragement for what he's going through right now. When did you first meet Lee?
You know, Bass, I don't even remember. It's just,
Been
it
that
just,
long, huh?
yeah, no, it just seemed like I've been attached to him ever since I've been getting involved with radio.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even from the 75 or whatever, because I always followed Lee whatever he was doing. You know, because I'm by me being a student of the game, and I tried to be a personality and all that stuff, man. Everything Lee did, I was like trying to find out what he was doing. You know, because uh, for us, for me being a personality guy, we studied the other personalities.
Sure
Yeah.
did.
And Lee was a personality guy, along with Tom and all the other cats, Bob Wall. I just studied what these guys did. I knew Lee from the time when I was at KKC, right, and being a manager and stuff, and I would hear messages from Lee. Well, yeah, if they break it that KKC, we'll play it.
I did say that. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
they break it, the cake, and so it was like at the little station with the big sound. It was like we was like a feeder for the big boys.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I had always had this fondness and admiration for Mr. Lee all the time. But the real big thing for Lee is when I became a professor and then
Mhm.
I got totally intrigued with media ownership. And he was on the East Coast. And he just knew of me. But the minute I called him while he was at Radio One, it was like, well, come on, and we talked hours.
Yeah.
We talked hours, and he gave me the synopsis because I started the Howard Media Group, and we were a research oriented group, and I was like deep on this ownership. And Lee just gave me the front door, the back door, and all the side trails to what was going on in the industry. And it just turned me into a dynamo. I was like, I was I was against all corporate media, everything, multiple ownership. I hated the
Yeah.
Telecommunications Act, everything, you understand? But Lee gave me some clear sight and understanding about what that game was all about.
I
And
remember those conversations. I remember spending a long time with you on the phone one day, and those are moments that are very memorable. I mean, I remember that. I remember it very, very clearly. I was going to say, I think the first time I remember meeting you was, I think, through that phone conversation. So it stuck with me. So whatever the conversation meant to you, it had an impact on me because I remember it clearly. And for me, being an old senile rascal, obviously that was an important moment to me as well.
Yes. Yes.
See, I can say that, but Dr. Ron, you can't say
No, no, I'm not even gonna try, because I'm still a young guy. You
In
know,
your mind, of course.
I'm not
Yeah.
80 years in the business like
No,
this
I'm not
gentleman
either,
is.
but
But
close.
since you call my name, can I do another sales pitch?
Oh, sure.
I just want everybody
Mhm.
that's within the sound of my voice. If Lee Michaels has ever done anything for you in your life, please go to GoFundMe. If you know him personally, go press some money in his hand. I just want you to support him and his family in their time of need. You know, if whether I heard Buck say earlier he doesn't have any children that he knows of, but if he did, he would
Mm.
want somebody to step forward and just speak out on his
Mhm.
behalf. See, Lee ain't gonna ask y'all for nothing.
Right.
See, if y'all know Lee, like we know Lee, he'll talk about you like a dog if you don't pay him. But at the end of the day, he needs us like never before. His family is going through something right now that is, you know, unspeakable, you know, and we got to support him. We got to stand up for him on his behalf and rally around him and be there for him. So let's do it. The
Yeah.
numbers on the screen. They got a GoFundMe page. If you know him, put some money in his hand. They need it. They
Right.
need it. You know, I remember when we were doing Six Guys and You, and Professor had a tragedy, and we rallied around him. Always, we rally around each other because that's what family does.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right.
Real quick, let me
I,
shout out. I'm real quick before I'm cut you. I'm sorry. Go ahead to Peanut Gallery real quick. Cool McCain, what's up, little bro? Another person that does great content when it comes to sports on the internet. We'll give him his shout out. Good brother. Keep on doing what you're doing, and I'm always here for you. And going back real quick, I feel like I should be giving something away. You know, some people when you have these type of charity events, they give something away. I harken back to my inner, televangelist people. You know, they always got something to give away. You know, they give a vial or something, or some sort of prayer cloth or something like that. You know, I feel I don't have anything to give away. I mean, I'm sorry.
Some holy water.
I feel like I'm Reverend Ike to some degree. I should be giving something away in the midst of all this. Now, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, here's a prayer cloth. If you donate to Lee's charity right now, you'll get this prayer cloth to wipe off the tears that are coming down your face. I mean, I feel like we're giving away something. So forgive me for not giving away anything at this point. Just give, and you'll feel better. I don't have a prayer cloth. All this is right here is a paper towel. I don't have anything to give, but you should feel great giving because you're just doing it.
What about one of those old gold records? Lee, do you still have any of those old gold records you used to have, like
Yeah.
lining the hallways? That would have been cool
Yep.
to give away. We didn't think about it until too late, but that would be really cool.
Well,
How many do you
know
have?
what? 60 or 70, I don't know.
Ooh wee.
Yeah,
Wow.
platinum, gold record, singles, albums, cassettes.
Mm.
Well, I tell you what. You want to give away something? I'll give away a platinum record or gold record.
Oh no, I was bullshit. I don't want to give away nothing, man. Don't give away nothing.
Well, he
man.
ain't doing nothing with it. He ain't doing nothing with him. There's
Look,
probably
just
storage.
give away some love, Lee. How about that? You gave it away first. Just get a return on your investment, okay?
Yeah, no, don't do that, doctor. No, I wasn't trying to give away something for real. I was just joking, man. But no, we don't want to know. Keep your collection, man.
Whenever I go to the bank and I show them one, I say, "Can I get a loan against this platinum record from Barry White?" They go, "What
Show
do you
you,
mean?"
Who's Barry White?
Right.
It ain't really gold, but that's okay.
That would have been cool if they were platinum or
got-
gold back in the day.
I got something to throw
I
out
wouldn't be
there.
on there begging. I tell you that.
I tell you what, this is what we'll do. If you all are willing to come to Chicago, you can get a seat at the table at his award ceremony coming up next weekend. How about that?
That's a good one. What is the award for?
Lifetime Achievement Award to Mr. Lee Michaels, given by President Biden, not Trump. Biden.
I wouldn't take it. I'd burn it and send it back to him.
Look, there's an award ceremony coming up on 6/22. He is receiving an award, and he don't have many people at the table. So we got a couple of seats at the table. If you're willing to come to Chicago, you can have a hallelujah good time with Mr. Lee Michaels next Saturday night in Chicago. There's a free gift for you. Not a
Well, congratulations, Lee.
but a
Thank you.
donation gift. How about that?
Got it.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ron.
Hey, man, we're going to make this work some kind of way. Chris threw it out there. We're going to rally around what he put out there. You know? Yeah.
See, let's go to the peanut gallery real quick. Yes, Barbara Jean. Yes, I'm stupid. Yes, I claim that. So, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, Chris, was that supposed to be like a sermon? Because you sound more like Reverend Poof.
Who's Reverend Poof? Sound like some of you
Exactly.
when you pass gas.
That's what your little sermon kind of sound like, you know.
Okay, great.
That's what
Fantastic.
What they say, Buck, shots fired. Shots fired.
You know, we're not here for this. We're not here for this. We're not here to talk about shit right now. We're not here for that. I mean, Val's used to, you know, once again, shots fired. I won't even accept it. We're not here for that. We're here to love.
I was just commenting on the sermon. You know, most people will say hallelujah, or I just wanted to. It just didn't touch me in it. You know.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
See, I told you she had natural talent. She know how to throw a zinger in there.
Yeah. See, once again, it's over the head, over the dome. I'm not here for that. We're not here for that. You want to bring it up? We could now, because that's a whole thing on a whole different situation.
I know what you want to go into, and we're not going there.
We're not going to go, and we should, because you started it.
I didn't say any. All I said.
You don't have to say anything.
Okay. God damn you, though.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me go back to the peanut gallery. What do you say, Lisa London? Val,
That's
I got your back.
Thank you.
Shut up.
Hashtag badass chicks.
Yeah,
hello,
you two
Lisa.
The badass chicks. I recall that. Yes.
Hi,
Let's
Lisa.
That's a glamour shot, isn't it?
Oh no,
Yeah,
it was a
looks
good
like it,
looking shot.
absolutely.
It's a good looking shot right there.
There you go. Let's see what's out here. Walter says, continue prayers. Lee, it's good to see all you guys together once again. Thank you. Thank you, Walter, for the kind
Thank you.
words. Yes.
Yeah, Walter. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, yeah, so again, as we gather around to support Lee and everything else. Now, again, just for giggles, while everybody's here, since Val wants to go there with the shot.
You know what? I knew.
No, it's too late.
I said nothing about. All I said.
You don't have to.
All I said
You
was
ain't
your
got to
sermon.
say nothing.
You just want to go there. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, great. Okay. So Lee Michaels, as great as he is, was also used to be what I call the hidden temptation from the group, the Temptations. So
They never paid me.
They never paid him. This was a short time when he was at Motown. Lee used to work with the Temptations. For example, a lot of bits and pieces that they were taking from him, he was a backup singer, never got paid. The glasses you see David Ruffin wear, those were Lee's glasses because David couldn't read sheet music, and Lee gave them to him so he can read. And so that's how Lee became the Forgotten Temptation all that time. So during this time being the Forgotten Temptation, he took his act on the road after Lee left Motown, and over the years decided to form his own group. So when he was in LA, when he met Val there, he was forming a group when he was the lead singer. And Val was the backup singer, and also Lisa Lundy just saw right there were the backup
And
singers for this
Frankie.
group. What did you just say?
And
And
Frankie.
And Frankie, that's right, little Frankie, that's right, yeah.
Yep.
Beverly.
So all three of them were the backup singers for Lee. Lee had more important things to do, decided to leave the group. He put me in charge of being the lead singer for the group. So I changed the Chris bass and the bassettes.
You can
That's
sing.
what I did.
You can sing.
Yeah, Lee can
If he
sing.
can sing,
can't
I can
sing
fly.
right
No,
now.
I'm talking about you, Chris. I didn't know you would sing.
I dabble a
If he
little
can
bit.
sing, I can fly. Right now, I can get up and fly off my balcony right
Oh,
now.
let's see it. Come on, turn the camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't fly, so we know what that means.
What do you mean I can't fly? Okay, hold on a second. It's getting interesting as we go to the phones real quick to bring on Lisa London. Lisa London,
Thank
you know everybody.
you.
Say
Thank
hello, good
you.
evening to everybody here.
Good. Hello, Lisa.
Good evening, everybody. I hate that I can't join you on StreamYard, but Val, you know, I was not going to let him get on here with these hijinks and shenanigans and this foolery and this charade. I wasn't going to let you go out like that. No, Chris,
Thank
you can't do that. This ain't about you, man. We can do that tomorrow.
I didn't say it was.
We will handle that tomorrow. Tonight, we are here to show love to Lee and support Lee and uplift Lee. And it is so wonderful to see the members of the 6 guys that are here together. You all have been terribly missed in radio, I will say.
Yes.
But yeah, get off my girl. Get off my girl. I got her back. So,
I wasn't
you know,
on.
hey.
Chris
I
will
was
take
not-
any opportunity to let people think that he was some kind of singer and that Lee appointed him. Chris was nowhere to be found when this group was formed. We didn't get the memo that Chris was going to take over. So he just, you know, he's like that thief in the night. He just came somewhere and poof, Reverend Poof, there he was.
Right.
No. Let me explain. I'm telling Lee's story because everybody does understand the greatness of Lee, not just in radio, but in the world of music. That's the reason I'm bringing this up. That's all.
Yeah,
And what's that got to do with you?
Yeah.
I was a part of it because when Lee left the group, he put me in charge. That's why.
We never got the memo that Lee left the group, though.
Well, I'm sorry. The memo was out years ago. I'm sorry you missed it. But yeah, I became part of the group because Lee left and I became the lead singer.
Okay.
I did pass the baton to him, but
Right.
I wasn't certain that was a good idea. But,
Okay.
Lord Jesus, it wasn't.
Okay. All right.
Help. Please help. No, that was not a good idea at all.
I didn't even know you could sing, Chris.
And you still don't.
Sing a little something for us.
Okay.
Bust a little note real quick.
Lord. Okay, here go the pigs and the donkeys and the cats. What are they? They gonna start?
Pigs,
Yeah, look at
donkeys,
Chris.
and cats.
Go
Oh,
ahead,
my.
Chris. Hit a note. Hit a note, Chris. Go ahead.
Sing a little ditty.
Okay, wait. I'll sing a little ditty. Hold your horses. Now, wait a second. Okay. Let me get some tea. Hold on a second.
You don't need more than tea, Jesus.
She said he's gonna need Jesus.
Yeah. No, okay. Don't be ashamed to call his name. Okay, here we go.
We gonna have to.
Oh, my Lord.
Lord,
That's all
no.
I got. That's all I got. That's all I can give right now because
I thought he was gonna go, Old Man River. I was like,
Okay.
right. Yeah. That's
Old Negro spiritual.
No.
What is what was
yes,
that?
it's the old Negro spiritual because I'm an old Negro.
You hear the cats?
Right.
You hear the
So what
cat?
do you expect?
Hey, y'all need to get up.
Arthur Price song.
Y'all need
Arthur
to get up
Price,
off
right.
of Chris. He's the host of this show tonight.
It don't matter.
And we tried
You
to
know.
keep the show about Lee.
What's
You know,
what
we're
doing?
Always has to
gonna
come
really,
in with his
we're gonna reel
shenanigans.
it back in. We're gonna reel it back in. How about that?
Thank
You know?
you.
We ain't willing
Yeah,
nothing.
He's
I'm
done
doing
it.
we
my
got
best for you.
five. We got 5 of the 6
Somebody
guys,
says,
and
no,
you.
please don't
This
All
encourage
is
look, man, you ain't to
this
real
is
real nothing. Then
historic.
all I'm saying is that when we're talking about Lee, we're giving Lee's pedigree. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Barbara Jean says, no, please don't encourage Professor Bass. He can't sing. You
No,
see?
well, I
Thank
have
you,
a
Barbara.
question.
Yeah, sure.
Where's Mike Love? If you're
Uh-oh.
gonna put the team in here, what happened?
Uh-oh.
What's the excuse?
He's
Do I
probably
need to call
driving.
him?
Driving, most likely.
Probably driving.
Driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Did you talk to him, Chris?
Yes.
And
You
what
said
did
he
he
was gonna
say?
be on. You said he was gonna be on.
He said yes. Yeah, he said we'll show
Well,
up.
you know he's kind of senile, so you probably need to text him or call him.
He's
See
barely
now.
he's barely 70. Lee, come on.
Well, I mean, that don't
Well,
mean
well,
nothing.
well,
Age
you know,
ain't nothing but a number. But I know some 55-year-old guys that can't walk and talk at the same time.
I just wanted to
Ooh-wee.
say he was barely 70. That's all.
but real quick, since you have in all seriousness, real quick, Lisa, how do you know Lee, and some encouraging words for him? Lisa, you have the floor.
Thank you. I met Lee at UVM. I was in one of those kitchen meetings, if you will. And he just commanded the room, just told us, what the vision is and what we were going to do. And at the time I was doing a Quiet Storm show, and I never actually got to sit down with him, but it's like peripheral. It's like, okay, I see him in passing, here we go. And then when you guys started doing 6 Guys and You, I started following you all when you were doing the talk show with you and Carol, and that's how I met Val.
Oh, the power of voices.
Power of Voices.
Voice.
Yeah, just started following you all through
Wow. Okay.
the Power of Voices, and just learning about him and just all of the people in Chicago that he has been instrumental in helping their careers along the way. And like you said, nobody has a bad thing to say about the man. He is beloved. He is revered. And I actually have a radio show that I do on a platform called Autolist.com. And I tell people all the time that, he is the reason that modern urban radio exists in the format that it is. So I encourage my listeners to go out to your GoFundMe and donate as well. But it has certainly been an honor to know him, to be in his presence, even to know the peripherals, if you will, and that would be the 6 guys. All of them are dynamic in their own right. And it's just been a wonderful time. And I would just say to him personally that, we hold you, we lift your family up in prayer. We can't imagine what you're going through, but certainly we are there with you in spirit. We are praying on your behalf, on Corey's behalf. We know that God is a healer. We know that he answers prayer. And we know that in a year from now, you all will have passed the test and you will have a testimony about how God brought you through.
Yes.
So I will just continue to lift your family up in prayer and say thank you for being a good steward, and thank you for befriending all of us. We are the ones who are blessed because of you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa. Those beautiful words, and I appreciate it. And I will share all of these kind words and the love and prayers with my wife and my son. And I got to tell you, to everyone, I'm overwhelmed with the calls and the texts and the emails, and the spirit of prayer. I feel it. And my son is humble, and he always tell me, I say, Chris Bay said this, or Armando Rivera said this, or Dr. Ron. He says, well, thank you. Tell him I appreciate it. So, it's a tough time. I've never been through anything quite like this. I mean, I've lost family members, but to see your baby boy, in the condition that he's in, and the what he's going to go through for the rest of his life. I mean, 50% of his body was burned. Basically, the front half of his body, a little bit on the ear, neck down past almost to his ankles. Worse on the right hand side. The skin grafts is taking up almost the other 50%, taking skin from the portions of his body that wasn't burned, put it on the burn area. I mean, he's scarred. It's hard. Um, and then he's sitting there in a bed, or recliner chair now, half of the day, and you've got to. It's almost like seeing him as a baby again.
Yeah.
So it's full circle, and I never thought that I would live to experience something like this. You I think most people think, well, I get old and, my kids will be there for me to help me in my time of need. But then when you get to be 74 years old and you're taking care of your baby boy, like he's a baby again, and it's, I don't wish this on Donald Trump. Well, maybe. Let me think about that. But
Yeah, think about
I
that
mean,
one.
you wouldn't wish this on anybody.
Right.
It is unbelievable. It's hard to bear emotionally, psychologically, physically. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. And I mean, there are moments when I'm driving from the hospital back to the hotel here and by myself, and all of a sudden uncontrollable tears just roll down your face because you don't know. I mean, you can't control it,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. Well, you know
And
what, Lee?
yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead and finish.
Chris made a statement earlier about, a parent would trade places, for their child, as opposed to them going through it. I feel that. I mean, I wish it was me. I'd rather deal with it myself than to see my boy go through this. Because he's young, he's got 2 kids of his own, he's got a long future in front of him, he's got a degree in aviation management. He had just started his master's degree. Hell, I've done all I'm going to do. I don't wish that bad luck on myself, but I would trade places.
It's beyond devastating what you're going through, what your family's going through. But again, when we do this gathering, I call it a love fest now, we do this because we love you, Lee.
Right.
We do this because we don't want you to suffer alone with your family. We are with you, and we continue to be with you, and just let you know that we love you more. So before we part company, we go around, as I always call the Black Brady Bunch squares. I want to start with Val, Dr. Ron, Reggie, and then Buck will have the last words. Let's start with Val first, please.
I was gonna say, my aunt told me recently, I went through something, nothing nowhere near what you're going through, but she called me and said, I want you to read Isaiah 54:17 every day. And it is no weapons formed against you shall prosper. And I never understood that until what I was going through. God never said we wouldn't have weapons thrown at us. They just won't prosper. So when you're going through what you're going through and you're sitting there, read Isaiah 54, no weapons formed against you shall prosper. And as my sister Lisa said, the test is going to be a testimony that you can share with somebody else. Your mess will turn into a message. Your trials will turn into triumphs. And you all will get through it. And Corey is going to be back working, doing aviation. The devil is a liar, right? We rebuke everything he tries to throw at us. And so we're all praying for you. I will continually, when I say I pray for you, I get on my knees and I call you guys out in prayer. And so God has the last say so, and he will get through. It's tough now, and it's probably easier for us to say it because, we're just sitting here watching you go through it. But believe that God will get you through it. God will get Corey through it, and those weapons will just stand there. They will not prosper. They will not prosper. And you will be in my daily
I got
prayers.
it.
And I love you to the ends of earth.
Love you too, Val. Thank you so much. And I've got it right here.
Read it every day. You know what? It got me through it. I had to really understand it because I thought, well, he said no weapons were coming. Then I went, no, he never said the weapons wouldn't come. He said the weapons that come won't prosper.
That's right. That's right.
Mm.
Dr. Ron?
Well, I just want to say, Lee Michaels, I love you, and ain't a damn thing you can do about it. I'm gonna keep getting on your nerves every day to try and encourage you and your family as much as I possibly can. And when you're going through something, you don't need to be by yourself.
Yeah.
You need to have family and friends there with you. If you're in pain, I'm in pain, and I'm gonna always be there to help you as much as I possibly can. I'll crack jokes. I know they ain't funny, but I'll come and and do what I can to encourage you on that day. Whatever day that is.
Yeah, we do that for each other.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. But love is. And once again, I just want to throw this out there. If anybody wants to come sit at the table with Lee Michaels next
Be my
Saturday
guest.
in Chicago, make a donation first and then come on down and watch him receive his Lifetime Achievement Award. I love you, man. I love
Love you
everybody.
too.
I love you all.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
And ain't nothing you can do about it.
We won't try to change it either because we know it's real love.
Yes.
Ron and I talk numerous times a week, sometimes a couple times a day. And he's been going through a little illness and himself, and at the same time of what I'm going through with my son. So we've been trying to hold each other up. And that's what friends do.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
Professor Reggie Miles?
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes, sir. It's your turn.
Can you guys hear me good? Listen.
Yes, sir.
Just understanding on just feeling what you're going through. Right now I'm going through another situation. I lost a son.
Mm.
And so, I lost my 36-year-old son, and that's just the thought of this is just, it's like I'm about to cry, and cause I'm gonna pray for you. But you got God makes no mistakes, trust in the Lord, with all your heart and lean not to thine own understanding. And then, we got to lean on each other. That's one thing about me when I take this pain, I tend to hide. Don't do that. We got to come out. And I like to thank Dr. Ron for, always staying on me, getting on my nerves too. So Lee, I'm gonna have to start calling you and getting on your nerves and helping you get through this, helping you get
Please.
through this situation. Cause it's really I talk to base. It's really a rough time for me too, as well. And
Well,
but
let's
just
let's lean
trust.
on each other. You're not
Yes,
alone.
sir. Yeah, so we just got to keep trusting in the Lord, and in everything give thanks, praise Him. Just
Absolutely.
continue to praise Him.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, Buck.
Thank you.
Lee, you're in my thoughts. I've known about your situation for a while. I'm of the opinion that you- give somebody space. When something bad happens in my life, somehow when people reach out, even though it's good intentions, um, I feel like it brings up pain, and I don't want to do that. But I will reach out more often because you and I have so many things in common.
We do.
One of the things I love about you, we can sit around and talk about technology and cameras and all kinds of good
For
stuff
hours.
for hours and hours and hours. But since I know that you're going through a lot of stuff, I hadn't been reaching out, and but just remember that you're always in my thoughts, and we'll be good friends forever, even if we don't talk, but once a month, once every 2 months, because I love you and I respect you, and and we share so much.
We do. We have a lot in common. And that's what life is all about, is those common threads that pull us closer together. And, you know, I understand, and I don't have any ill feelings towards anyone. And there are people that I truly love and respect, and I don't get a chance to talk to them all the time, but they know how I feel about them. We've been through some turbulent times and all of that, and we made it through, and we're good. We're good. Like Keith Adams, I talk to Keith several times a year, and he and I, we're close. When he heard about my son Corey and his accident, Keith called me up and said, "Hey man, what can I do?" And I said, just pray and be my friend. And we ended up both sitting there on the phone crying.
Mm.
And we've
Wow.
done that before, you know. And I know that that's a true friend. He says, "Lee, I know you're going through a lot." He says, "And when in your dark moments and you don't know what to do next, call me and we'll cry together."
And you're
And
such a
that's
pillar, Lee. I mean, you're this big, like almost a statue.
no,
No, seriously. People look at you like you are. I mean, because you've been like I said, you've been to the mountaintop, bro. You know, it, and the problem with that is that people don't think of you as needing support. Not necessarily just you, but people who are in authority, authority figures, people who are very strong individuals. Everybody thinks of you, knows that you're a very strong person, you know? And the problem with being strong is that because I deal with the same thing. People don't ever think I need help, you know? Um, but I mean, you're human and you need love too. And you've got the love coming from so many directions. Think about how many people that you've helped over the years that you don't even remember.
Yep.
Think about that for a second. How many
true.
lives you've touched over the course of your life, your career? How many people you've influenced? You know, I I pray all the time, Lord, please let me live to see another day so that maybe I can have a positive impact on somebody's life. Think about how many people that you've had a positive impact on throughout your entire life. I mean, from day to day, you know. So
Yeah,
just know that there's so much love out there for you. There's a reason why nobody has anything bad to say about you. I
thank
mean,
you.
even people that I'm sure you've cussed out. I
Or
mean,
fired.
because
I, I've,
you
I've,
had,
I've,
you had a
I've,
positive
had-
influence.
I've had to fire people or let them go, whatever way you want to say it, and they go on about their lives, and your paths cross later. And I've had people come up to me and say, "Man, thank you for blowing me out, for
See,
firing
see,
me,
see.
because it woke me up and made me a better person."
Right.
And it pained me to let somebody go because I know it has an impact on their lives, even if they were being a jackrabbit, and not doing what they're supposed to do. And but I knew they had to go home to their family and tell them, "Hey, I lost my job today, and it's 5 weeks before Christmas or before Thanksgiving," and I hated it. I really hated doing that. I really did not get pleasure out of letting somebody go. And
Right.
I always ended the conversation, hey man, if it's something I can do to help you, let me know. On a personal tip. Forget about the job and all of that stuff, but personally, if I can do something to help you, if you're gonna be a little short on the rent or whatever,
And you meant
let
it.
me know.
And
Yeah,
you meant it. Because everybody
that's it.
says that, but most people don't mean it. And I
Right.
believe
Sure.
that you meant it.
Yeah. Well, we could sit here for another 15 hours or more, and I could tell you the stories of the people that have helped me. When I went to St. Louis, 1973, April Fool's Day to be exact.
Wow.
I went there to be the afternoon personality at KATZ, and I was having great success. The first 2 weeks I was on air and I was just on fire. I was the talk of the town in 2 weeks. When it was time to get paid, my first paycheck went to the hotel that I was put in. That the station said they had a trade deal that I wouldn't have to pay for it for the first 2 weeks. So I said, okay, cool. I can find somewhere to live in that period of time. Well, I did. And my first paycheck had to go to the hotel because somebody else used up all the trade that was available.
Damn.
So there I was and I was making $220 a week.
Oh, wow.
Right. This was 1973. And I didn't know what to do. I couldn't go move into the new place because I didn't have the money to give them. So one of the part-time board op engineers, John Lewis, was working at the station. He says, "Hey man, you can come stay at my place." Now he had a studio apartment with a pull-down bed.
Wow.
I slept in it half the day. He slept in it the next half. I stayed there, and John is a professional chef today. I didn't really have a lot to contribute to food in the house. I did what I could. And he used to cook up some meals, man, that saved my life.
Wow.
And John Lewis knows that I love and appreciate him today. He's down in Texas working at a retirement home or something, and he's a chef there. Good guy. And again, he's shown his love. He made a donation within, I think, the first 2-3 days that the GoFundMe went into play. Now that is a lifelong friend,
Nice.
lifelong. So here we are. That was in 1973. Here we are in 2024, and he's been at my aid again. And he knows if I got it, he's got it because he's saved my life a couple times already,
Nice.
made it easier for me. So that's the kind of one of the thousands of experiences that I've had, and I've done the same thing for others. I hired Doug Banks once, went to the airport, picked Doug up, and this is not to put any negative on Doug, but Doug left New York. What was it? L.A. or Vegas, one or the other. I hired him so many times I can't keep track. But Doug came off the airplane with a grocery bag with some underwear and a couple of t-shirts. He had flip-flops on, and I had him stay at my house. It must have been a month and a half until he got some money and got himself together. We went shopping, got him some clothes, and that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right.
We're supposed to do that as humans. When somebody else is in need, you reach out and you pull them in and lift them up.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done that all over the country with various people. And they go on to be superstars. Not that, I waved a magic wand, but I helped someone to get on their feet again and they were able to do better. And
And you do it because you're supposed to.
you're supposed to. Absolutely. If I were to win the lottery today and get $500 million, I'd probably be broke within 3 weeks because I'll go around and help people in need.
Give
I
it
would
away.
set up a foundation. And probably the best thing for me to do if I was in that kind of a situation is just set up a foundation and have people to run it. Because, like I said, I'd be broke in the New York second again, you know. And because I would open up my heart and my wallet to help people. If I'm driving down the freeway and I get off a off ramp and there's a guy or a woman or a family standing there at the end of the off ramp with a sign, and I know some people don't do this, but I do. I keep change and a few dollars in my ashtray. I don't smoke, and it's there for that purpose. And I know Mike Love does the same thing. And I'll give them whatever I got to help them out, because I always say that could be me. That could be a family member. And if I can help them get a meal or, go pay for a room or something to get off the streets and take a shower, I'm that guy. I'm that guy. And right now, I'm here in actually it's Aurora, Colorado, one of the suburbs of Denver, because my son is in need. It's not about me. This is not for me, it's for my son.
Right.
And he's a little, sensitive. He said, "Well, Dad, this is a private thing." I said, "Son, listen, sometimes we have to reach out and ask for help."
Right.
And it's hard for some people.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So let me just say this. I appreciate all of you showing up. Quite a surprise, Mr. Bass, as usual. He's a surprise magic man. I had no idea who any of you were going to be here tonight. So it's heartwarming. I feel the love. I'm sure my wife and my son feels the love. And I can't thank you guys enough. You know that I'm here for you in any way that I can, whenever I can.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You're more than welcome. Before we get out of here, shout out to Lisa when she had the kind words earlier. She said to drop the line, says, "Love you all and God bless." So thank you, Lisa.
Right, Lisa.
Thank
I
you.
love her.
For the kind words. What'd you say?
He said he loves her.
Well, say that again.
I said I love her.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
He said,
Lee, before you go, I just have to share something with you. Where I work at, I wish I could have all you guys over there, because I work for ROV, the Register of Voters. And when I tell you every crazy, can I say this, Republican in the world has threatened us?
Really?
I have
wow.
been threatened to be. He said, if I find out you guys are trying to stop me from voting for Republican, you will be beaten, raped, and murdered.
Mm.
Mm,
No.
WTF.
Send me
sad.
that address.
And sometimes they have kind of because we're supposed to be neutral, right? And I just be thinking, like, I remember the shows and you guys were talking like, oh, they would eat this up. There's crazy over
Absolutely.
there. Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Well, you know what? I've gone out and campaigned for various politicians, from Obama to Hillary Clinton, Biden, and local races as well. And I've run into the same thing. We were here we were in Nevada, Las Vegas, when Hillary was running. And we're out there. We got on a bus from LA to Las Vegas to go register people to vote. No, we didn't have no Hillary signs and all that. It was a voter registration drive for Democrats or Republicans or whoever. And we used to get those nasty comments, and they would go. We were in front of a grocery store, big grocery chain. What was it called? But they were owned by, what is it? Anyway, it'll come to me in a minute. And we had a table set up with all the forms out there with pencils and pens for people to come up and sign up. Those racist people would go into the grocery store and complain to the manager that we were out there doing what we were doing. Now, there was another table set up for some Boy Scouts, and they were selling cookies. Now, we're not selling anything. We're not promoting Democrat or Republican. It's a voter registration drive. Whoever. So the manager came out and said, "You guys got to go." And I said to her, "Why?" So, well, we can't allow people to disrupt our operation. So we're not in front of the door. We're not asking people to do anything. They come up to us if they want to register. We're not trying to cause a problem or anything. And I said, "Did you tell that to the Boy Scouts?" I said, "Let me remind you, I not only was a scout, I was a Cub Scout, Boy Scout, Eagle Scout, and I also was a member of the Order of the Arrow, as high as you can go in the scouting. I love what those kids are doing over there. I support them. In fact, I bought some cookies from them today." So what they're doing is supporting their organization, and what we're doing is supporting the concept of voting in America. So we understand that, but our customers are complaining, so you guys got to go. This is on private property. And I said, "Okay, we'll leave, but we're going to go out there on the sidewalk, and that's public. And you can't be out there. That's public property. You don't own that. That's a right of way to the public." So that's what we did. And then I called a friend of mine who worked for the corporate level of that company, and I asked, "Is that a corporate policy?" And they said no. And I said, "Well, this is what we're dealing with." So somebody from the
Uh-oh, he
company,
froze. Oh,
Oh,
there
he's
you go.
back.
Oh man.
and they called the operation there in Las Vegas and told them they were in violation of corporate policy. You cannot do that. So sometimes you go through those kind of things and you have to go above them to fix and eliminate the problem. So when they're
Right.
threatening you, you just tell them that's very un-American for you to make that kind of statement. You don't know who I support, and it's irrelevant. I'm here to help people to register to vote. Period. End. And you may register and not vote. That's on you. But
Right.
we're just trying to make it as easy as possible for all Americans who are legal age, and I don't know. I think California, can you vote if you're a felon?
You can vote if you're a felon, long as you're not serving an active term.
There you go. So you just read that back to them and say, "That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not here to promote anything."
Right.
And they'll have to back up. They probably won't. I even had a guy come up in a wheelchair with a gun between his legs. I'm going,
Jeez.
"Wow, dude." I said, "I hope you don't shoot your balls off accidentally."
Oh, they're gone.
Yeah. It's really sad what we're dealing with.
Yeah, yeah.
Really sad. We're having meetings with with sheriffs. They're putting glass up to the top. We're I'm just like, yeah, I don't know if I want to be here in November.
You're indoors doing voter
I'm
registration?
indoors. Yeah, I'm a trainer for the registrar. So
Wow.
yeah, so
Stay
it's
strong.
really crazy. Yeah, and get this, we can't have any type of anything to protect ourselves. We can't have mace, we can't have, and I'm like, y'all crazy.
Mm.
Yeah. So, but I always think about you guys when I'm in there and we get these calls, and I'm like, "Ooh, they would eat this up. They would love this. They would love this."
Absolutely.
Have you guys right outside the front.
Wow.
Out. I mean,
Absolutely.
coming live.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
Well,
anyway, that's
Well,
what I thought there.
we're about to break company. Thank you everybody for sharing your stories. Thank you for everybody for showing up. My deepest thanks to Dr. Ron Ford, to Val Noble. Got to start used to be saying that these days. Buck Wild, also known as Sammy Mack, and vice versa. Professor Reggie Miles, and of course the incomparable, the legendary, the one who refuses to go bald headed, Mr. Lee Michaels. And so he's going to keep on with the hair he has on left, on top of his noggin there. So
looking
before we
like
part company,
Bozo,
say that again.
looking like Bozo the Clown.
Oh no, I know some bozos out. You are not bozo. There's people out there like Screaming Nate Smith from ESPN, look like George Jefferson season 5.
Oh my God.
That's a whole different thing. Before we part company again, for those of you out there, the Corey's Care continues. So make sure you go to GoFundMe.com, search for Lee Michaels' name. Make sure you get in contact with that and donate whatever you can. You also Zelle at iradiocoach@gmail.com. Again, you can Zelle iradiocoach@gmail.com. Right now, currently, is $6,241. The goal is $135,000. So we have to keep on pushing, keep on making this work, making this do what it do. So again, my love and thanks for everybody who got a chance to be here to show how much we love Lee. And I definitely agree with Dr. Ron. Damn thing he could do about it, because it's way too late. It's way too late. So your arms are definitely our arms around you. Continue what you're doing right now. For those of you out there, BaseLine will be on tomorrow morning, and that's at 8 a.m. on East Coast, 7 a.m. Central, 5 a.m. Pacific time. Look, once again, got nothing but love for you. I know you all sleep at 5 a.m. If I wasn't doing the show, my ass would be asleep. So stay asleep, call hogs, and do like that, and then wake up on the replay and catch it then. So yes, BaseLine will be on tomorrow morning. I want to thank everybody for being a part of this. Also, let everybody know that give what you can. It doesn't matter the dollar amount. It doesn't matter. Where anything helps, everything helps to push towards the goal. And we're not trying to put pressure on you to the ground. Well, I'll say it. I'll put a little bit of full court press on you. But if you could donate, fine. If you cannot, like Lee said, if you know him or just want to email, say some words of encouragement, that goes a long way as well. So make sure you do that. And for those of you hooker whores out there, give as well. You hooker whores out there doing your thing. Hooker whores, yes, they know who they are. They follow me all the time. The hooker whores out there, when you're out there doing your thing, give some money to what Lee's going through, and everything will be all right. You just may go to heaven.
We don't want. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I guess the coochie money good too.
Exactly.
Y'all
Exactly.
are a mess.
Of course. All right, then.
Chris, thank you,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I mean, I appreciate the time and the effort, and you being a real.
He went off. Where'd he go?
I'm sorry, your audio went out. That's probably enough. Your audio went out. See what we can hear there. Yeah, I can't hear you. No, look. Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. Repeat what you said before you went out.
I don't remember.
Oh shit!
what did you miss? Where did I get cut off?
You were saying along the lines of, I guess, being a real friend or something like that. I guess.
Yeah. I said thank you for being a real friend.
Okay.
And I appreciate the time and effort that you put in and dedicated the show to my son. Y'all, it ain't about me. It's about my son.
Right.
So if you give a damn, show your love, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Everybody out there, once again, thank you for your time and being a part
Thank you, guys.
of the Love Fest. Continue to be safe, continue to be sound, continue to be healthy, and more importantly, above anything else, continue to be loved. Long live the peace, long live the funk, and more power to you. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
See you guys later.
Bye.